Welcome everybody to episode 30 something of the Cloneincorrect podcast. I'm Harambe's big return. We've got M1 Ping and our guest for this evening, Mr. Slick Side Shit Posting, who has finally decided to be a absolute Chad and join us for an episode.
It's about fucking time.
Happy to be here.
Happy to have you. We know you're obsessed with forward assists, so let's jump right into that.
Oh boy.
So what's your favorite part about the forward assist?
My favorite part about the forward assist is that no one can actually decide, or I shouldn't say decide, but no one can actually trace back the origin of the forward assist. It's my current understanding, unless I am somehow proven wrong, that under congressional testimony, people from the military could not find a single source of who said we have to have the forward assist. I believe, if I recall correctly, it came down to a secretary's decision to add the forward assist.
Like a office secretary?
Yes, that is my current understanding, is that it came down to an office secretary.
Hopefully she got a raise.
Hopefully she did. So I've read all the initial reports from the military, I believe it's the Ordnance Board as well as the Armory Board, about the first field study using the M16, which back then was the AR-15, and there was no reported need of the forward assist. It wasn't until the military was forced to adopt the M16 that they said, oh, we have to have a forward assist. But then, when called in front of Congress, nobody could say whose decision it was to actually add the forward assist. So that's the first part of the forward assist debacle. And the second part is, me personally, I just don't think it's necessary, and nor do I think it's needed on one of these rifles.
So you don't think it's necessary, but have you ever not had your bolt properly seat?
One time, and that was on one of the Palmetto States.
Oh no. Not a Palmetto State.
Yeah.
So what you're saying though is you've encountered an instance where a forward assist would have been warranted.
That is correct.
Well, son, you got to change your username.
Checkmate.
Checkmate, atheists. You now have to become forward assist shitposting.
However, let's keep in mind that was a PSA from 2017, and I haven't gone through those rifles, so who knows if they're even in spec. So I will say with that one caveat, if your rifle is clean and in spec, you shouldn't need the forward assist. In my opinion, it'd be more of a detrimental thing to ask for rather than.
So you're saying the benefits of a forward assist don't outweigh. There is no risk to having it, so why not just have it?
Well, if you had a jam and some idiot jammed the forward assist and made it worse, that would not be good for them. People always say, oh, I'm a jam enhancer. But you also have to remember, back during Vietnam, they had problems with the powder and the rifles clogging them up. And they were getting failures to extract and then subsequent failures to feed. And they were jamming the forward assist, which made it all worse. And they spent who knows how long trying to unjam the rifles. And a lot of the soldiers died as a result of trying to clear the jammed rifles. You've heard about that?
Yeah, do you know why?
To correct that record, it wasn't because of the forward assist. It was because the Army didn't issue cleaning kits for a rifle that was supposedly self-cleaning.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, do you know why they were so dirty? Because the Army told a bunch of 18, 19, and 20-year-olds that they didn't have to clean their rifle. And you know what they did? Didn't clean their rifle.
Yes. Also, in Eugene, Lord Emperor God Savior Eugene Stoner designed the AR-15, he used a different type of powder, and then the military changed that powder when DuPont stopped making it. same with a different powder that burned a lot dirtier. And at the time, Colt told the military that they could not make the rifles fall under the current spec that they were required to make the rifles perform to using the current powder, but they still had plenty of the old powder. So then the War Department told Colt, oh, just keep using the old powder and for these test trials to make the rifles meet the requirements. But then we're sending rifles with the new powder, which burn a lot faster, a lot hotter, and a lot dirtier out to the soldiers in Vietnam. And then when that old powder ran out for testing purposes, they used a new powder and they found that the rifles were extremely unreliable. And at which point the War Department said, we don't really care.
So you're basing this off of incorrect loads, which could be the result. It could be the problem. Personally, I've never needed a forward assist. I don't care one way or the other. I like having it there. It's a nice little safety blanket, if you will. Right. I have run a slick shot and have not needed a forward assist. I won't say that they're useless. I think they have a place because there are times when a round is not fully seat, etc., etc. So I won't say they're useless, but I do see your side. I think what's more important than arguing one way or the other, I think the most important thing is running your rifle, which a lot of the people in the forward assist argument don't do. They're like, well, I've got this $1,000 HK Daniel Defense, Franken build.
My Knights.
Oh yeah, can't forget Knights. And then how many rounds are through it? 0.
0.
No issues though. 0 rounds, no issues.
Speaking on that note, I'm hoping next weekend or the weekend after I won't have to work, and I'm probably going to take the new slick side build out to one of the local ranges and put some rounds through it.
Did you get the retro optic installed?
Yeah, so that came in on Friday of last week, and I got it installed on the carry handle. I like it so far. My only real complaint is it says retro right across the top of it, and I think that's probably anodized onto it. I haven't looked real close. I don't think it can easily be removed, but that's my only complaint thus far.
Well, there's a simple fix to this. Rattle can your rifle.
I might. I haven't decided.
Cover it. Just cover your glass, obviously. Tape off the important things on your rifle, and then just rattle can it. It wears in nicely. It helps blend with the environment if you ever, go hiking in the woods or anything like that. It looks good for the LARP. And you can cover up where it does, in fact, in giant bold letters, say retro on the top, which does annoy me slightly as well, but I took mine out.
I get why they did that, though.
Yeah. So people, because it's made by the same manufacturer that made the original. So they probably did it so people wouldn't try to sell the new one as the original one. I'm sure there's other small differences. I've never handled an original enough to know, but I would say that's
I lost you guys for a second. What are we talking about now?
We're still talking about the retro optic.
Oh yeah, the retro optic. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'll take it out and we'll see what it does. But so yeah, I've got an extra 300 rounds of XM 193, and I might see how the new build does with that.
That would be nice. Break it in nicely.
So I have a Delton H-bar barrel on there right now, 1 in 9 that has had no rounds through it. So I might try that and then do an accuracy comparison when I switch over to the Faxon barrel. That's also brand new.
Mm-hmm. Faxons are good. They're good
Yeah.
product.
I might buy another one so my father can put on one of his guns. He's stubborn about buying good quality parts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like a lot of their stuff. Another company that I like the stuff they're putting out, Fulton. They've got a lot of good shit coming out.
Fulton? Yeah, when I was at the gun show this weekend, which is a whole nother topic, there was a Fulton match upper receiver on an old Colt Sporter. It looked like it was put together very well. It was one of probably 20 rifles of the whole show that was worth anything.
That's a typical gun show. This being your first, probably might be your last. I've been to a bunch,
probably my last.
And they're not my favorite. Not my favorite place to go. Every once in a while, you can find some good stuff. I found way back when I found an old Savage bolt gun for like $150 or something like that. But other than a few things here and there, man, it's a lot of NRA hats and overpriced 1911s and the Bubba milsurps.
And CMP Garands that are marked up 3 times what we're paid for them.
Yeah, can't forget the CMP Garands. Man, those things. Well, I don't get FUDs, man. They'll, like, you can go get a new one from CMP for, depending on its condition, varying prices, and then they'll try to sell you one in the lowest condition at the best condition price. And it's like, I know what I got, son.
That's because a lot of these FUDs think that you have to be a member of the CMP. Like they think it's some exclusive club, and no, it's not. You just have to meet a couple of requirements and go buy the gun.
So I've never.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, so I'd never been to a gun show. So growing up, my father never did a lot of gun shows or trade shows or anything like that. So I never did any of those. And then as I became an adult, I just bought everything online. I didn't really have an interest of going down to one of those, but there was one here a couple days ago. So I'd been to one, so I thought I would go and see what was there. Because I'm used to like truck swap meets and stuff where there's a lot of cool stuff there that you could get. So I thought it was going to be something like that. So we get down to the fairgrounds, and this is in Tampa, and it's in kind of a rough part of town. So we get down there, and we get in, and we walk through the door, and the first thing I see is this booth that's got like those, you guys have seen these, it's like Trump or something with like a plate carrier behind like a giant like American flag or like the Constitution. So this person has this booth, and that's all it is. Just like cringe, 3%er, and all kinds of stuff like that. Punisher skulls. So I get past this booth, and I go start walking my way down the aisles. And the first booth I stop at was this old guy, and he had a bunch of just random surplus gun parts everywhere. He had some barrel nuts, he had some M1 Garand stuff, he had a bunch of old bolts and bolt action stuff. And then I go to the next one, the next booth down, and it's the whole booth is nothing but PMags and free floating key mod handrails, handguards. That's his whole booth. That's all he's got. So then I go to the next booth, and it's literally just Diamondback pistols across this guy's entire 40-foot long booth. And it was just the same 3 booths, just repeated over and over and over again. And I'm just like, this is dumb. So then I ended up leaving after I bought the Smith & Wesson.
The Smith & Western.
Yeah.
We need to talk about your poor choice of carry gun.
Yeah, we're gonna make fun of you for a minute. Yeah.
Did you get the one with the laser?
I did not get the one with the laser because it was $449, and the one out the laser was $389, and then I got a discount. So the whole thing with the background check was like $410.
You want to know what's funny? I could have sold you a P365 for $425.
Rip. Just don't
Yeah,
drop
what's
it.
that? There was a small Glock, something black and tan, well FDE and tan, FDE and black, about the size of the Bodyguard at another booth, and he only wanted $419 for it. It was a 9mm, but
Bought it.
Glock 43.
that was it.
And that would have been a lot better.
That would have been infinitely better.
Yeah, but see, my father has one of the Smith & Wesson Bodyguards, and he's probably got, I don't know, 50 to 100 rounds through it, and it seems pretty reliable. And I know 50 to 100 rounds isn't very much, but the way I look at it, the odds of me being a confrontation where I'm going to have to use it are exceedingly low.
You're literally Florida man. You should be hauling a 460, like a snub nose 460 around, just in case a fucking alligator decides to show up and try to eat your ass.
Oh, a funny story about that. So one time when I was about 13 or something, we were out riding four-wheelers, and we were in what there used to be a lake, right? And it was just like a groundwater lake, so it wasn't very deep. It was like 6 foot deep. But then they put some well fields in for one of the local counties, so the lake dried up. So the lake bed was just nothing but muck and marsh. We're out there riding four-wheelers in this muck, and we get up on like this high spot, and we're all hanging out. Next thing we know, there's like a 6 foot cottonmouth just chilling four-wheelers. So one of the guys we were with pulls out like this, I don't know what it was. I was like 12, so I didn't even look at it. This long single shot pistol with like a 45 in it. And they're all taking pot shots at this snake. Eventually they got it, but I was like,
No step on his neck.
No step on his neck.
So what's the, Mr. Florida man, what's the closest, have you had a near-death encounter with a gator? Florida, you gotta have some kind of story about a gator.
I think the closest I've come to an alligator, I've had a couple get real close to me when I was kayaking a few times down in the Everglades. I've seen a couple crocodiles up close. They're pretty cool. So I'll give you an example. So if you're in a boat and you're hauling ass and there's an alligator, they'll typically go away from the boat, or they'll go under the water. Not the crocodiles. They don't care that the 20-foot boat is screaming 30 miles an hour beside them. And then, but closest call to anything like deadly. Did I send you guys the video of my foot with the shark?
You might have. I don't remember. But
it was a long time ago. But I sent a video a long time ago. But 2020, me and some of my friends were camping down in the Everglades, and we were on like the coastal part of it. So we were camping on the beach, and we were fishing for sharks. And one of the guys caught a shark, but he was too afraid to go unhook it. So my friend and I dragged this thing up on the beach, and it's flopping everywhere, and it's bleeding, and it's like 6 foot long. So we get up on the beach, and I'm holding on to the line, and I'm behind the shark by its tail. I'm holding on to the line, and my friend is going to the business end of the shark for the knife to cut the line. And when he gets up close to the front of the shark, this thing 180, whips around and tries to bite me. But when he closes his mouth, it lands right on my foot. That's probably the closest to a near-death experience I've ever had. Just like imagine losing your whole foot from a few inches in front of the ankle, just gone. But you're still probably 2 hours from the hospital, maybe. You're probably at least 45 minutes till a helicopter gets there.
Yeah,
so that was interesting.
No bueno. I almost stepped on a can't think of it now. Cottonmouth. I was walking, and my front foot was going down. It was about probably 6 inches from the ground in a downward, motion. When I see a snake just right underneath my boot, and I'm just like, nope. And I just ran the other way. I said, not today. I had no idea what it was until somebody much smarter than me walked over and said, hey, this thing's poisonous? I was like, then it's probably good I didn't step on it. It'd have been. I mean, we were pretty deep in the. We were down some trails, so it probably would have been a little while before somebody could get back there, or we could get, to somewhere. Yeah, not something I want to actually do. I was glad I didn't actually step on it, because that probably would have bit me. I don't like snakes to begin with. Like spiders and things like that, I don't mind, but snakes.
I had that fun experience 2 weekends ago. That was fun.
Your Pepe Le Pew moment.
Yeah, my Pepe Le Pew moment where I literally stepped on a skunk.
Oof.
Thankfully, they're not, like a deadly creature. They just smell.
No, I mean, it could have bit the shit out of me, to be fair.
Yeah, if it had rabies, you could have, had a bad
Ping
time.
gets rabies shots.
Thankfully, if you do get bit by a wild animal, you can just go to the hospital and be like, I got bit by something, and they'll run some tests real quick to make sure you're not going to die of rabies.
Speaking of hospitals, I don't know what y'all hospitals are like in the upper 47 of the country. The hospitals down here, you can go there with your leg ripped off, and you're still going to wait 6 hours before the doctor sees you.
Oh, I think
It's
that's
terrible.
any hospital.
Depends on what the what the situation is and like how serious it is. It's like if you just go in there with like, oh, I scraped up my arm or something riding a motorcycle, yeah, it might take some time. But if you like go in there with, hey, I got bit by a snake, they're gonna take you in first thing.
And I went in there straight from urgent care with my ultrasound paperwork and everything else, and I told so when I got there, we'll talk about my testicles. So when I got to the ER,
The incident.
I drove up to the front door, and meanwhile, the truck's a manual, and it's diesel, and it's 37s and all that. So I drive up to the front door, and I get out. Or drive to the front door, but there's nowhere to park. So I have to leave, get back in the truck, drive all the way around, way out, like a quarter mile away, park, hobble all the way back up there. So I get into the ER finally, and there's a bunch of old people in there, and a couple homeless people, and there's a couple sheriff's deputies stationed at the ER at all times, and there's a couple other deputies that were there that had an inmate and then someone they arrested, and they were all beat up. And I go up to the counter, and there's an old homeless guy there complaining about something. And I say to the nurse who's doing his intake, I'm like, ma'am, I need to be seen right now. I just came from urgent care, and I'm suffering a testicular torsion. And she goes, I'm sure you are, honey. You just got to wait in line. I'm like, no, I'm not waiting in line. I'm seeing a doctor now. And I see in the corner of my eye, one of the deputies got the attention of one of the other, I think it was a resident, like a physician assistant resident type person. And he went back and told unbeknownst to me, he went back and told the head ER doctor what was going on. And then they sent someone else up, and she asked me what was going on. I showed her the paperwork. I just came from urgent care. And meanwhile, I can barely stand up at this point because the left side of my scrotum was about the size of a grapefruit. And it had been this way for about 12 hours now. And they come get me, and I go back, and the ER doctor looks at it, and he goes, that's the biggest one of those I've ever seen. And eventually when I saw the urologist, I told the urologist, said, hey, doc, come get a picture of this. Send it out to your group chat for the urologist. But it was wild.
So that sounds about like the average experience at an American medical facility. Oh, I'm sure you're suffering from that. We'll be right with you. And then you sit over in the corner for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I see you have a gaping chest wound. Just go sit over there.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But thankfully, once they saw that I wasn't making this up, it went pretty smoothly.
So did you get did they give you like an implant? Do you have like a,
Oh no, I'm lopsided.
Oh no.
But tell you the truth,
you just popped a golf ball in there?
I thought about it. I can't tell the difference from when I had both of them, to tell you the truth.
Bitch.
It's
Well,
definitely different.
At least they only had to take one.
No, if they had to take both, I would have made them leave one. And he had told me that he could leave it in there. He told me he could go in and he could untwist it and then sew it up and leave it in there, and then I could see if my body would. I wouldn't say recover it, but if it would survive. And I told him I didn't want to do that. But then I left it up to his judgment. But when he got in there, he said it was too big. Like the actual testicle was twice the size it should normally be.
Oof. Yeah, I knew somebody that had that happen while I think they were running, like just mid-run.
Pretty common.
No, he said it wasn't. It ended up not being too bad, but I don't think he ended up losing it. But he said it was like the worst pain he's ever felt in his life.
Oh, it was bad. It was real bad. I told the urgent care people, they were like, so you have to drive to our other location for an ultrasound. And I'm like, you see what I'm working with here. You think I can get in any vehicle and drive? And they told me it was too bad, so sad. And then the one doctor, one of the places I went, was at 3 different offices that day for an urgent care in the ER. The one asked me what my pain level was. And I'm like, the left side of my scrotum is literally bigger than a grapefruit. What do you think my pain level is right now? Like, let's be real here. It was bad. But I still got the one. And I'm doing some fertility stuff now. So we'll see what the results of those are all going to be.
Hopefully that goes smoothly.
You know what pisses me off? Women's infertility is all covered by insurance. Male infertility, when I call my insurance, they're like, oh yeah, we only cover 3 tests and that's it. Like, thought we were all equal here in America.
Nah, son. Yeah, a lot of healthcare providers cover a majority of it for women. It's also, to my understanding, more common in women than men.
It is. It's way more common in women than men. And see, in men, 9 times out of 10, it's a little science. So your testicle is a little bit different than the rest of your body. So your testicle is, when it produces sperm, it's after your body becomes immunologically competent. So your body will recognize anything inside your testicle as foreign and will attack it. So your testicle is kind of separate from your body. So as long as your actual testicle is intact, they can almost always extract either singular sperm or the precursor of sperm from your testicle, and then from there they can use that for different fertility. So for men, it's very rare that a man is actually truly sterile and unable to produce children, but in women that's not necessarily the case. So that's another reason why it's almost always covered for women but not men.
It's probably also cheaper for it. Well, it would be cheaper to fix the issue with men. I know.
It is.
I know when I was shopping around for healthcare, a lot of them didn't.
I'm sorry, what are you saying, Rambe?
I was saying when I was shopping for healthcare years ago, a lot of them didn't cover for either men or women. Like, it's hit and miss. So, like, some of them don't cover either of them. Some of them just cover for women, and then very rarely they cover both.
So the whole process for me to preserve mine, including all the blood work, tests, office visits, is like $2,000 to like $3,000, depending on which doctor you go to and their individual fees. And that will produce like 3 to 6 vials, and each vial equals an attempt at pregnancy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like what, $500 for an attempt. But for women, it's like $10, $20, $30,000 to freeze a single egg.
Mm-hmm.
So that's quite a big difference in cost. Now, one egg is one attempt at pregnancy.
Yeah.
So when you're talking like whole orders of magnitude in terms of cost differences.
Yeah, which makes sense to why they cover it, because, the average American that's suffering from this isn't going to pay that much.
I don't know anyone that can spend $30,000 to have multiple eggs frozen for their wife. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. I say we shift gears back to guns. I'm sure listeners are probably now tired of hearing about your testicle and the failures of the American medical system.
That's probably valid.
What is your dream? I'm sure I can guess this. What is your dream gun as of right now?
So my dream gun as of right now would probably be either it's two, but they're really similar. Would be one of the early prototype AR-10s or AR-15s with the trigger style charging handle under the carry handle, and then select fire and safe, semi, or full auto with the original brown Bakelite furniture. That would be my absolute dream gun. I will sell my soul for one of those.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't sell my soul, but I'd probably
So I do
give a pretty penny for one.
I would do some nasty things.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
So I do have one of those prototype uppers that I bought from Brownells when they had them in stock in 2021. It's just chilling in one of the drawers under my bed. I'm going to do something with it. I just don't know when. Spent a lot of money in the last couple of weeks. So I don't know, maybe sometime next year I'll put something together on it. I have everything just about to put one together, except maybe the lower parts kit and the buffer. So we'll see.
I really wish I would have snagged one of those with the charging handle underneath the carry handle. I really like those. Those are phenomenal. I've only seen like one for sale since, and it was like $600 for just the stripped upper.
There was at the gun show, there was a couple of guns that were nice. Besides the Fulton, there was two original Colts, like XM E177 type civilian rifles, and then there was a Wyndham Weaponry A1 clone for like $890. I tried to get my father to buy it, but he didn't understand that was a steal for $890 these days.
That's a really good price. My buddy's got one of those. They shoot like a dream.
It was in perfect shape. I mean, there wasn't even a scratch on the handguards, nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I can't believe the price of carry handle upper receivers right now. They're outrageous.
Yeah, I bought mine. I bought my, I think it was like $99 for a blemished slick side.
Mm-hmm.
Back in, this was 2020, I think. Yeah.
Speaking of carry handles, I see Streamlight has joined us.
Yeah, what's up? I hear y'all talking about A1 uppers. I'm a little excited. But I currently have an itch. I'm trying to scratch with that without spending like $500 on a stripped upper, which is actually more difficult than it should be.
We told you how to fix that itch. You just go to the doctor and get some meds for the gonorrhea, damn
it.
That's a completely different issue.
But you live in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah.
You can just go to any veterinarian and get some kind of prescription for that.
Yeah, that's more common than you think. Like, all jokes aside, that's pretty common here. Like, when the whole, what was it, ivermectin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very easy to come by. and like a lot of people are actually doing that. I think my parents included.
Gosh,
But
it worked though.
yeah. But like a lot of people had it. But no, on the A1s, I don't know if y'all have talked about the Palmetto State Armory ones yet.
We were just getting there.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. I'm a little hesitant, and just because it's PSA. But if anybody doesn't know, Palmetto State Armory recently acquired Nodak Spud, and Nodak Spud now operates under the Harrington and Richardson name under PSA, and they're making like all retro stuff. So I'm pretty confident that the quality is evened out, So now we can expect somewhere in the middle of Nodak and PSA. So I'm willing to send it on that for like the $160 upper they're gonna sell versus like anything else at $400-$500.
Until you miss the drop and it gets scalped on Gunbroker
I
for
was about to say,
$500 for a
Oh yeah,
bling.
they're literally already being scalped on Gunbroker for $500. Like that's retarded. If anybody's willing to pay that, that's retarded.
Well, there's people like Drukus out there that will pay that for their pretty rifle they never shoot.
Speaking of,
Oh my gosh, that guy. Dude, I took my rifle out. I use the exact same paint as he does. Exact same paint. Took it out. I took it out with me hiking once. And it got beat to shit. But he'll go out hiking all the time and he shoots it so much and it shows zero signs of wear. It's like,
Yeah, that's why. That's why
oh
he's
man,
still
you don't get it.
in the
You don't get
inside
it
of
for your,
flash hunter.
he repaints it, man. You don't get it.
Every time he comes home, he repaints it.
freaking my 10-3 does not when I shoot it with a can on it, it does not it ejects it at like a 2:00 position. I don't like that, but I'm working on it.
Then you don't get that pretty wear on your brass deflector.
Exactly. Now if I take the can off, it does bounce off of it. So like there is just a slight amount of wear on it, and it's like I've probably put 500 rounds through it since I painted it. And it's like, how do you, with your thousands of rounds through your rifle that you claim, have absolutely no signs of wear? And it's like a 20-inch upper.
That is pretty funny, honestly.
It's like,
How is it affording this thousands of rounds in today's prices? That's like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000.
Daddy's money.
when your dad's rich and buys you everything you want, it's pretty easy.
I hate that.
That'd be really nice. But yeah, it doesn't take much to like wear shit off of it.
Fuck, I just fuck with the safety on my guns and it's fucking wearing.
Mm-hmm.
And like my Benelli from all the dry fire I do with it to like load shells proficiently, like the whole handguard's already wearing off and shit.
That's what mine's not even painted. I need to actually get around to do that.
That's cool.
But,
No spray paint.
well, I did my 270 and I was gonna do the AR, but I don't know why. I just never did. But yeah, I've taken my AR out hiking and like just gets a lot of shit on it, like so much sand and scratches it. Like it doesn't take much. I don't understand how some people keep them so clean when they're hiking and rucking.
Did you just say rucking? Please get off the podcast.
Excuse you?
What's wrong with the word rucking?
First of all, son, you're the guest. You can't tell people to get off here. Secondly, rucking is a completely acceptable word.
It's completely flat here, so like there's no hiking. It's just walking.
Well, that sounds like a Flatlander problem.
I mean, it's flat here, but
hey.
What you gotta do is drive to the hills. They're not that far away. Everybody's got hills nearby.
I live in North Dakota.
And
And
just drive to the
also,
Rockies. It's only a couple hours.
is like hiking or rucking, is that exclusive to not flat land? I was under the assumption it just meant hiking with a heavy bag.
Yes, it does.
And like, you don't got to be in the hills for that.
Unless you're a Florida man who doesn't like the word rucking, apparently.
I tell you what, we got some sugar sand down here. You'll sink up to your ankles or more. It's terrible. I wouldn't imagine trying to walk through that with a 40, 50 pound pack on my back.
So you're admitting you haven't tried.
Checkmate.
I would
Yes.
Checkmate. Back to painting guns. So I have those logos I got, the ones that are engraved with the fake Colt on them. They're just raw aluminum, so I'm gonna have to anodize them or paint them. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with them.
Rattle cannon.
I thought about it.
Rattle
There are,
cannon. Everything.
there are a couple of companies out there that'll do Colt Gray anodizing.
Yeah, even if it's already been machined out.
Yep.
What's up with that? Let me ask you this question, Ping. What's up with that guy? I took those barrels and those front sight bases down to that gunsmith to have them worked on. And he has this form he types up for his business, and he gave it to me, and I filled out what I wanted. And then he took my driver's license, and he put it on the paper and made a copy of it. But he kept the copy that had my driver's license on it. No, thank you. One second, guys.
How rude. Ask me a question and walk away.
And then doesn't mute himself.
I'm back.
Oh, wow. Never mind.
You okay there, bud? You sound like you were having a happy ending.
Oh, no. I'm in one of the conference rooms. I'm in the middle of an experiment tonight, so the janitor was wanting to clean the conference room, but I'm obviously recording a podcast, so.
Did you tell him that, or did you tell him you're a niche internet micro celebrity?
No, I told him that I was writing a grant.
This is as far from that as it could possibly be.
I'm on a conference call right now. I'll get on that in a minute.
But yeah, I can't believe he put my driver's license on there. I didn't know if that was some kind of new regulation or what. It seems like the government changes these every 3 seconds.
I mean, rules have started to change, yes and no. And, you know, there was talk of like gunsmiths having like, because as of right now, and the reason we do it, it's kind of required because if you give us a whole gun to gunsmith, it still goes into our A&D book. So like it still goes in our acquisitions and dispositions book. So we're taking it onto our books while we work on it. And then when we're done with it, we give it back to you. And as long as it's the person that dropped the gun off, there's no paperwork involved. You just show me your driver's license, and it's like, oh yeah, you're that person. Here's your gun back. Get the fuck out of my face.
So, two things on that point. One, when I was at the gun show and I bought the gun that we won't talk about, by the time I filled the paperwork out, she had already got my background check back. I couldn't believe it went that fast. I thought that they take 45 minutes to an hour. I mean, to be fair, I've never actually bought a gun at a store, so it was my first time. But
I mean, it is called
it's
NICS.
pretty much, it's instant, man.
Yeah, National Instant Check System. But
wow,
it is, but most of the time it's pretty quick.
Until you get delayed, and now they have to now if somebody gets a delay, we have to give their address.
Oh, and 18 to 20-year-olds instantly get a delay? Yeah. Nice backdoor registration there.
We get a 10-day delay at that.
That's ridiculous.
On the delay topic, say you're not 18 to 20. Do those typically come from like maybe things you've had on your record that have been kind of taken off your record, or what's the
Do you
deal with
want
those?
to? Do you want to know the most common reason I think I hear for a delay?
Probably a DUI.
No, it's the fucking system isn't working correctly at the moment.
Mhm.
My computer's not working correctly, and Nix takes such a high volume of phone calls and other just we're just talking the phone call side because we still call them in. But they take such a high volume of calls that they are only allotted so much time per check. And if the computer doesn't kick back a result in that time, then it's a no bueno. Like you're done. Okay, you're delayed. And a lot of the times, I'll get a delay and I have a response back within an hour. If that. I had one dude that left the store and got into his car and started to back out, and Nick's called to say that he got to proceed, before he was even out of the parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Been there before.
Interesting about that. 2 points. One is the rib went with me today, and she's from a state that isn't the gunshine state. So I walk into this gun store, and there's a couple older gentlemen in there browsing the stores. It's a real small store, about the size of someone's kitchen maybe. And she's looking at all these guns on the wall and stuff. And then I do my thing, and some guy says he wants this gun and blah, blah, blah. And but that wasn't with us. He was in the store talking to the other associate. And then we leave, and the rib's like, so when does he get to come back for his gun? And I'm like, he doesn't. I'm like, if he has his concealed weapons permit, he's going to leave with it within the next 20, 30 minutes. And she was like, what? Because up north, they have to wait like 3 weeks to get it once they pay for it. She couldn't believe it.
Depends on the state.
That is a really un-gun-friendly state that she's from.
I was going to say, that sounds like Jersey or some shit.
It's New Jersey. And then another time, my father and I are at World King, and he was buying the lowers that we won't talk about either. And he was waiting for a background check to come in, and it took about 45 minutes. But in the meantime, this guy walks in, and he didn't have his concealed weapons permit. So in Florida, if you have your concealed weapons permit, you can buy a gun the same day. Show up to the store, pick it out, background check, and then leave. But if you don't, there's like a 3-day waiting period. So he comes in. This guy comes in. They call it a cooling off period. So he comes in and he speaks to the gun department manager at World King, who's behind the counter. And he goes, you guys was here whatever day it was, and it was 3 days ago, and I want to pick up my gun now. And she goes, well, you don't have your concealed weapons permit, so you have to wait. And then she says, the problem is the gun that you purchased, since you purchased it so late in the day, the guy working put it in the next morning, so you have to come back tomorrow to get it. He was pissed.
I don't want to hear you call Florida the gunshine state if you have to wait 3 days.
3-day wait period. That is not the gun. Yeah, I can't even fucking speak.
But see, that's only for people who aren't smart enough to go get their concealed weapons permit, because Florida is a
No.
Literally,
that's an excuse.
Every state is a shall issue state now, so that's a moot.
Well, I'm talking like before all this recent events. Even 4 or 5 years ago, it was a shall issue state.
Okay, and
Oklahoma's been a shall issue for a long fucking time.
I was going to say,
you've never even had it.
It's been a shall issue for as long as they've had permits.
The first gun I bought, I didn't have a permit. I had 0 waiting period.
We don't have waiting periods.
We don't have waiting periods.
Yeah, I walked in.
I've never.
It was like right after I turned 18. Walked in, got a gun, I transferred, got a background check. It took like maybe 5 minutes, and then walked out with it. No concealed carry or anything. I don't even have a concealed carry license. You don't need one.
I did mine online here, so you guys know I sent you that stuff from Tampa Carry. What's up, sheepdogs?
Oh yeah, that guy.
That guy. So I don't know. You have to be 21 to get it here, so I was probably 22, and I didn't want to have to go up to the other place that does them locally. So for him, if you do his course, you have the option to do it in person or online. So if you do it online, we'll put that in quotation marks. It's literally just watching an hour-long video of him saying sheepdog every 30 seconds, followed by pull your gun.
Sheepdog.
So you watch this for 50 minutes, and then you drive down to his little store down here in a bad part of town, and he talks to you for about 25 minutes about whatever, and then he's got some little like suppressed pistol thing in like this black box, and that's your entire course. Yep. And you learn how to say sheepdog the correct way.
What is the
That's
correct
important. That is really important.
That is the most important thing, is to be a sheepdog.
I don't think, like, honestly, there's really no point to concealed carry if everybody doesn't know that you're a sheepdog.
If
Mhm.
you
That
don't
you are
drive,
concealed carrying
if you don't drive a Toyota Tacoma or 4Runner,
with like concealed carry stickers all over it, you know.
say with an overlanding rack on it, and
Oh yeah.
you don't have.
What are those pants? Are those the 511 pants?
Yeah, you gotta wear 511 pants, and don't even get me started if your hiking gear isn't all perfectly matched niche camouflage.
Mm.
You're not saving anybody's life.
And then you have to have a bright orange sleep pad.
You might as well be a sheep. Like, you're not a sheepdog.
At that point, you're just an ant.
You're part of the flock, maybe.
If you're that lucky.
Yeah.
I will tell you the closest call I've ever had where I did not have a weapon that I wish I did. I had a multi-tool knife. Another time we were camping down in the Everglades. And so part of the Everglades that we were in has always been used for like drug smuggling and stuff because of where it's at and how remote it is. And they wiped most of that out in the late 80s. But there's no.
I think I was there in Battlefield Hardline in the story mode. Somebody's going to get that.
I
I got it. I'm the only one that's going to get it. But
so anyway, so we're camping.
It was pretty funny.
And there's no one around for probably 50 or more miles in either direction. And so we're on the beach, and everyone in our group had went to bed, and it was just me and this other woman awake. And then we see like this single headlight just making its way down the beach. And I was pretty sure everyone in our group was already asleep. And I'm like, why is this single headlight approaching us in the middle of nowhere? Like, what does this person need? And I kept calling out this person. They're still probably 50, 60 feet away. And I'm like, hello, do you need help? Are you lost? Blah, blah. I'm still not getting a response. And then I'm starting to get a little creeped out. And then the woman's starting to get a little creeped out. And I'm like, oh my God, this is some kind of like drug smuggler or some kind of like crazy person, because it's in a remote area, first of all. And then Everglades City itself is full of rough characters. Don't ask anyone their name. So I'm a little creeped out at this point. But then as they get closer and closer, I just pull my little, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Stab this person with a 2-inch long blade? One of the guys with us went out of his tent and didn't tell anybody, and then went down the beach to take piss. But he came about 4 seconds from getting stabbed. Yeah, I was a little nervous. But
Ladies and gentlemen, we give you the man that bought a Bodyguard 380 as a scary gun.
oh, someone finally said it. I didn't want to say it.
You chose that.
But I gotta jump off here, guys. I'll talk to you later.
See you later, Ping.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yep.
make your choices. Make a baby.
Yeah, I've had one incident where I thought I would need a gun, like in a dangerous situation. Now, this was a thought. The afterthought was, no, I did not need a gun. But I was living in this, like in a neighborhood in town, and a girl came up to my door at like, I think it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and she was banging on the door and like screaming for help or whatever. And that's a pretty odd thing to do at 3 in the morning, you know?
Especially in a neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like in the living room watching TV. This was during the COVID semester. So my sleep schedule was sleep from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So, you know, I was up, of course. And I'll go and grab like I had my gun sitting there. I grab it. I go to the door. She's like, I open it. She's like, can you please help me? Oh my God, can you please help me? She's crying. There's like tears all down her face. And I look behind her and there's some dudes like jogging up to the door, you know, from the street. It's like two guys following her, jogging up to the door. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm going to have to shoot 2 guys right now. Like, what the fuck is going on? So I get my gun out. And then right at that moment, she's like, my dog is lost. And I was like, I told her, I was like, what the fuck are you, like, what the fuck are you doing? This is not the time, you know? That was an interesting moment. That got the adrenaline going. But that's about the only time I've had so far where I thought I'd need one. No Mexican drug smugglers yet. Yet. Honestly, in Oklahoma, it's very common. So soon, maybe.
See, I deal with the kids that one of their parents are redneck and their other parent is from the city, and they think they're a gangbanger, but they're like the whitest kid you know. It's like they try to act tough, and you're just like, I could slap the shit out of you, and you'd go crying.
We have those here, but they just smoke meth.
Same.
That Oklahoma meth, that Oklahoma black tar heroin, it hits differently. So I've heard.
I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah, no, I don't do meth or anything. That would be Hoomst. Yeah, me, I don't do meth.
Yeah. So, what kind of meth is your favorite?
No comment, but that crystal.
I haven't heard of that one.
That crystal just.
I believe it's pronounced Cristal, and it's a nice champagne.
No, it's actually just a white trash girl's name.
Hey, remember.
What?
Bitch.
Hey, Forges.
Got him.
Hey, Forges.
Sugandhi's.
Hey, why don't you go talk to Joe?
Joe
Ligma.
God.
Normal people like cashews, like legumes and stuff. Harambe prefers.
You know, on this topic, what are those little Chex things called? Fishing net thingies?
Fishing net things, yeah.
God, those are so
I have no idea.
Oh, maybe we can get Bad Review Guy to listen to this episode.
The tacticals. I don't remember what his name was. That was my favorite review. I'm so glad that the first episode I was on had such
if the
good
Bad
reception.
Review Guy listens to this, I will personally send him a T-shirt of Gabriel wearing pit vipers.
I need that shirt.
Wait, that's a thing. This is a shirt that's around.
Gabriel wearing pit vipers.
That Gabriel shirt. That might be a need in life. That's going in the budget.
I can't wait until we all get to eat a little bit of Gabriel.
I'm excited for that. It's Gabriel, like a bittersweet.
So Gabriel's got probably till the end of the year to breed those 2 cows one more time. And then after that, he's getting the rubber band around his balls. And then probably 2 months later, he's going to go to Happy Valley.
Who gets the balls when they fall off?
The local crows. Calf Fry Festival, I'm assuming.
I want to send WAP some hamburger from Gabriel.
How is he going to pee if you take his balls?
I think you just don't have to pee anymore.
Dude, that sounds sweet.
Oh, does that mean Slick only has to pee half the time?
He pisses twice as much.
He didn't
Hang
say
on.
anything. So it must be true.
No, I was texting the rib. No, I piss like every 5 minutes. I don't know what you guys talking about.
So it doubled.
He doesn't have as much. Wow, he said he can't hold it as long.
Exactly.
So if the other one goes away, does that actually mean you just constantly pee instead of
You can't hold it. Like anytime
Like
you
a
can't hold
fountain.
it. Yeah, anytime you have to pee, it just like it comes out without you knowing.
Wait, do our followers know who Gabriel is?
Do they need to know?
It'd be weird if they thought it was a person. He's getting his balls removed and eating them.
Yeah, my buddy Gabriel, we're removing his balls soon.
Well, I think when you said hamburger, I think they probably put
Or
two.
breeding cows, that might tip
Hey,
tip
who
off.
here, who among us has not bred a cow? Come on.
No, what happens in Florida stays in Florida or something. I don't know. I don't want to go there.
I mean, have
Why?
you guys ever y'all ever been goat fucking?
Sorry, what?
Listen,
Good scratch.
Been
Excuse
goat
me?
fucking? Oh no, sorry, never mind. That must be an
What
Oklahoma thing.
Oklahoma shit are you talking about?
That's what they call it when you tuck your jeans into your boots. Goat fucking.
That's not what they call it.
That is what they call it because that's where you put the goat's back legs is in your boots.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my
hey,
word.
listen, my barber's cellmate when he was in prison
Oh no!
consummated a relationship with a cow.
Wait, what?
What?
So my barber was in prison. That's a whole nother story. But his cellmate at one point, he had different ones, consummated a relationship with a cow.
No, he did not. That's
It-
made up.
No
No, it's
wonder this
not
guy's
made-
in jail. Like this is where he belongs. Is in jail. That's an actual menace to society right there.
He's from Polk County. What do you expect?
Forget the murderers, forget the rapists, drug dealers, all that. Get them out of they shouldn't have to spend that much time with the dude who fucked a cow. Like that's dangerous.
The older you get, the more you hear about Florida, the more you realize, like, it's not a joke. Florida is just actually crazy.
Florida even a real place? Like,
I don't think it is real, honestly.
No, I went there once. It was real.
No. That was southern Georgia.
Do you want to hear about my day today from the time I woke up to the time I got on this podcast?
Sure.
Maybe.
Okay. So check this out. Wake up at 5:45. Whirl around the bed, look at memes. Okay. Then I leave the house at like 6:30. I drive 32 miles to work. It took me an hour and 10 minutes. The last 6 miles was bumper to bumper. I flipped off a couple of people, got
At
yelled at.
6:30 in the morning, it was bumper to bumper.
Well, I left the house at 6:30, got 6 miles from
God.
work at 7:15. Then from 7:15 to the time I got to work at 20 to 8, it was bumper to bumper for 6 miles. Get to work, do normal work stuff, then go to the gun store, which we've all heard about my gun store adventures for the day. Leave there, drive down to FedEx, drop a package off. The Latina behind the counter tried to flirt with me because in Florida, Latinas love the tall, skinny white guys. And then,
So,
That's a whole
can I
country.
rent a room from you, buddy?
Did we make fun of Slickside on podcast yet for his purchase?
numerous times.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank God. Dumb bitch.
That's going
and
to
then I ended up on this podcast.
Where was that going?
I don't know. I thought I had
No,
more Florida man.
sure that we made fun of him.
That was such an exciting day until, Ford just talked over you about how you're a dumb bitch.
Anyway, when I'm coming.
Buying a bodyguard 380.
Listen, my grandfather tried to sell me his 357 Magnum wheel gun that he bought in the 80s when he went out west.
Yeah, you should have bought that instead.
Who fucking bought that? What's wrong with you?
It's a better deal.
Imagine the ballistics of a crackhead getting hit with that 357.
Should I also buy the gun belt that's got like the individual bullet holders on the side? You know what I'm talking about?
Like
Yes, dude.
yes.
I will wear that 24/7.
Just wear
I've
that to go out of the fucking
unironically
Publix
seen
or whatever.
people in Oklahoma. I've unironically seen people in Oklahoma carrying like that kind of shit. So you come here, you can carry whatever you want, including like a single action Colt Army. Like, seen way too much of that.
Coincidentally, that's my must-buy list.
It's like almost cool. Is the problem?
What did that old dude that stopped the church shooter have? Was it a 40?
No, it was a.
Oh, it was 357 SIG.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
like
357 SIG guys finally like have a victory.
Yes, we got one.
It was a heck of a shot, though.
Oh, he straight up domed him.
One shot from across the church.
That shit was incredible.
Based.
Didn't even need freaking 9 follow-up shots like the guy that stopped the mall shooting.
Yeah, what a pussy that guy must be, huh?
I did
shot, like wow.
I did hear the report that I read said his first hit was a kill shot. He just, put 7 more in.
Based, mag dumped into trash.
Literally into trash. See, if that guy would have gone to Florida and got some pussy, he wouldn't have freaking snapped and tried to go active shooter on a mall.
No, if he went and got some of that Latina, whew, he would have been a happy man.
Yeah.
Could have just sent him to Miami for the weekend. He had a ball.
I mean, I stand by the theory that like all the world's problems could be solved if dudes would get laid.
I mean, yeah. What no pussy does to a motherfucker.
Didn't we talk about that? Didn't we? That dude is going to comment about how bad this episode is because we talked about this guy. We talked about the mall shooter.
No, one of his criticisms was that we spent like 1 minute talking about it.
About legumes.
I'm telling you, if he reviews this episode, I will send him a t-shirt of nephew Gabriel wearing pit vipers.
We'll just send him a shirt that has his review on it.
Would be
honest, when Ethan announced that, man, I was cracking my ass.
Oh my god!
Like, it was so out of the blue. I didn't know he was doing it. He just sends that. I read it and realize what it is. Ethan, you're a fucking genius.
Literally,
one compartment is just calling each other gay for 40 minutes. I was like,
I know.
Pretty accurate.
Oh, I know. I got lots of messages from people saying like, "Oh, I did like the fishing net thingy talk."
I thought it was hilarious.
That was the funniest goddamn shit. I don't care what anyone says.
What do you call those little things in the check mix? I hate that he knew it was called Chex Mix. And like over half the stuff in it, over half the stuff in it is Chex, just in different flavors. And he's just I don't know those little I miss 7-7.
That review is very lengthy. I do appreciate the what's Steve's name? The tactical sapper. Sapir. He spelled it wrong.
It's just funny, like I think it was you, Forge. It's just too long, didn't read. But thanks for the review.
I'm happy for you. Or sorry that all that happened.
My contribution was like complained about our grammar or something, and I just grammar corrected his review. Oh, that's fucking hilarious! Like we're such an unofficial podcast. Like half the time, to leave such a serious review on it. Like, dude, just stop listening. Like, literally, just turn it off. Like you're listening to it for free. Like, just turn it off, man.
We are literally a company. What are you talking about?
Well, I did miss the last board meeting, so I'm a little out of the loop.
Yeah, I sent you a letter of reprimand, so that'll be on your desk.
5 letters of reprimand, and you get a letter of like malicious intent, and
5 letters of reprimand.
9 of those, and you get an official reprimand, and then like how many official reprimands until you get a $1 fine?
69.
Okay, well, I'm going to be careful then. I'm going by the straight and narrow now.
Okay, what's the most expensive gunsmithing tool any of you own?
A hammer, maybe. Like, I don't know. I don't think I own any.
A Dremel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only one you really need.
Unironically, yes, actually, a Dremel.
I bought upper vice block, and I bought one of those Wheeler Delta Series stands. What?
You need a Midwest URR and a lock and hold vice block. Like literally the 2 best tools ever made.
I'm currently broke.
I completely built out a lower while sitting on the couch, so.
Same.
Oh, I've done that shit.
Yeah, that's the easy part. All those, like, people make so many tools for putting those together. It's like, just don't.
Have you built one out while completely intoxicated?
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm about to take one apart and reassemble it right now.
I wasn't completely intoxicated. No.
I've never actually lost a detent or a spring or anything.
Yeah, me neither.
I've had a couple buffer retainers like shoot across the room, but I somehow found them every single time.
Have you ever put together an A1 rear sight?
Unfortunately, yes.
The little pin?
I fucking hate it. It's awful.
I shot one of those across the room. Thought I searched for it for probably 20 minutes. Couldn't find it. I was like, I'm just gonna order. I ordered 3 of them extra. I was like, I'll just order some extra ones.
Also,
and then as soon as
remember, like way back in the chat, someone was telling us that the A1 sights. No, you're not.
I'm talking here.
All right, go ahead.
Literally, as soon as I hit order and confirmed it,
I
found it.
Honestly, I'd throw it away at that point.
No, I finished putting it together. I was like,
you want to know how I prevented myself from losing a detent?
Duct tape.
Sex.
I got in the shower. I was thinking about it, right?
I've done that before, actually.
I was like, I was to the part where I was going to put everything in I could really easily lose, and I was like, fuck it, I'm getting in the shower and closing the curtain. That way it can't go anywhere.
Down the drain, retard.
Yeah.
I obviously put something in the drain.
Oh, speaking of which, we're not allowed to say retard anymore.
Okay, retard, whatever.
Yeah.
I got reprimanded at work.
Okay, wait, hold on. Who was it, like, way back in the chat, someone was telling us that, oh yeah, A1 sites are garbage because the fucking screws back out or some shit.
That sounds like FUD.
Was that fucking 2A or some shit? I don't remember.
No, it was Fudlore.
It was Fudlore.
Oh, it was him, that's right. Hey, if you're listening, that was dumb and that doesn't happen.
It's literal.
It was actual Fudlore, yeah.
I wish I knew that didn't happen, but I don't have an A1 upper.
I actually put an A2 aperture in my A1 rear sight.
That seems like a sin, but okay.
You did what? I'm sorry, I wasn't.
An A2 aperture and an A1 sight.
What's the difference?
Seems wrong, but I'll allow it.
It's the two different. What the fuck do you call the two different size holes?
I thought the A1s had that.
They do.
Oh, you mean they're differently sized from the A1?
Had the two different zeros.
Gotcha.
Well,
Can we tag the that guy that left us that glowing review?
Absolutely.
I think we're gonna.
Please do.
I hope he listens again.
Invite him on.
So he can hear us talking about legumes and fruit.
To be honest, if he still listens to the podcast, I'll respect him.
After that,
I forgive him.
He deserves a free shirt with his review on it.
Someone should send him a shirt.
I'm sure it's.
I think
Ethan probably already.
I think he
did
probably
that.
tagged him in the announcement.
I'm on the page right now, so I'm gonna go look see if.
God, that was art.
Surprisingly, no, he didn't. Oh, there's still a discount code on it. Y'all are welcome for that.
Do any of you have pit vipers?
No.
I've found that I hate shooting with them.
I've never worn them.
Something about the blue and like picking up a red dot makes it harder to pick up. I don't know. It's weird. I really don't care for them as shooting glasses.
I have no desire to own a pair of pit vipers in the first place.
I literally bought them for the meme.
As a serious investment.
I don't believe you.
Believe Joe Mama.
I would believe them.
Hey, do you know Joe?
Joe Sugandis.
I was gonna say, why are you gonna steal my thunder like that?
Thundies nuts.
That's not really like, I wouldn't consider that thunder. That might be like slight showers or something. That's
You like golden showers? What?
I mean, well,
The boy
squirt's not pee. Oh my god.
stored in the tits.
Yeah, squirt is stored in the tits.
It most
Early
definitely
lore.
is.
That's early lore.
Hey, are you guys buying the aluminum buffer tubes, or are you guys still doing the plastic ones?
Huh?
I don't think Streamlight knows that lore.
He probably doesn't.
He's too new for that. You poor soul.
Was that in an episode?
No, it was in the group chat. It was a plastic
Oh.
buffer tube moment.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That sounds terrible.
Guess who
It's
said
kind
it?
of like it's kind of like a canted glass moment. She probably doesn't get that reference either.
I don't fucking what I'm talking about.
Hollow Sun canted glass moment.
Is that like that new mount that came out? That's even worse than the Goobers mount.
No,
So they just tilted 10 degrees, right?
Your homework is to go all the way to the very beginning of the group chat and just catch up on the lore.
Not doing that.
You should.
I tried to scroll up to find a picture today, and it made me realize like how fucking
way too
much
active
stuff.
of a group.
Yes.
Wait, has Harambe and Forges, have you guys sent your balls to the chat?
Yes.
I don't think Streamlight has.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't.
I still have that meme on my phone.
Is that the type of chat I'm in? Like some sort of gay testicle sharing group or
I got a
something?
full-on picture of my testicle.
See, that's something I'd actually want to see.
Well, it's the group picture for the Signal chat.
What?
Slick Sign's ball scar.
God.
Plural.
I remember not believing. I was like, yeah, okay, your ball removed. Yeah, right.
The one time you ask, like, oh yeah, proof, man, and he actually just sends you a picture of his ball.
It's actually 3 scars.
You had 4 to start with?
No, so they took the one out and then they sewed the other one to the side of the sack.
They did what?
Is that so it
Yeah.
doesn't like slide over on the other side or something?
No, so it doesn't twist.
That makes sense.
So they took the left side out, and then they sewed the right side to the sack,
they
and
took
then they
lefty.
sewed the cord on the right side to the sack.
I don't like the sound of that.
I was anesthetized. I was on some good shit when they did it.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll go get a ball removed.
I don't recommend it.
You don't have any to remove, though.
What did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
You
actually a
don't even have
woman.
an A1 upper. Stop it.
What did they do with your testicle after they removed it? Did you get to keep it like in a little jar?
I wanted to. My father told the doctor to keep it, but the
Dude,
doctor.
I would want my ball. I would have been like, you give me my fucking ball right now.
All you
By
gotta
the time I
do,
woke up, the doctor had left.
all you gotta do is go back to the hospital and be like, "Where is my testicle?" I did it for my foreskin, and they gave it back to me.
You chew on it like a little piece of gum. Well, that's what you do, right?
It's like an everlasting gobstopper, but for gum. You know, you just chew on it.
What is wrong with you?
So many things.
It's a sniffle moment right now.
Oh no, not a snickle moment.
His uncontrollable laughter when he like almost asphyxiated was the best.
The snickle still fucking cracks me up.
Snickle audio, dude.
I feel sorry for. I would like to apologize to Transfer for his first appearance on the show being a snickle moment.
I just remember that video I sent y'all that I found. It was like a dude with like 40 snickles in his refrigerator. It's like, here's how to make a snickle, guys. He makes one, opens a fridge, and there's just a pile of them like in the fridge.
Snickle stockpile.
That's actually my fridge.
It was actually Harambe that made that video.
I love that he put it together with like rubber bands. You just throw some rubber bands on there to hold it together until you're ready to eat it. And then he tosses it in a pile of them. And he's like, there you go.
Tape for the snickle. We should make goob tape, but it just has like Snickle logo on it. We still need to do goob tape.
Goob tape.
Goob tape for the true goobs out there. Oh,
I honestly don't know how I ever use my charging handle without having tape on it.
I know, dude. Aren't they so slippery? It's crazy. Sometimes I put a little sandpaper on there so it doesn't slip.
Especially those like mil-spec ones with the really defined shelf on them, like on the side. You know, I can't hold on to those.
Oh my god, yeah. Like, who has that much hand strength? Holy fuck.
Oh, not me. I'm a pussy.
Oh, not me either, yeah.
I had to put grip tape on mine.
I drink
Otherwise,
a lot of hard kombucha and it gets my hands all oily.
see, I drink
really
soy.
hard
I drink the Soylent, and I think maybe it gave me like early onset arthritis, but it's so good. Like,
Soylent Green as people.
it just makes me feel so docile. I love it.
Has anyone seen it?
My wife's boyfriend bought me a watch, but the band was really tight, and my hand started to turn purple.
Your wife's boyfriend bought you a watch too?
Yeah.
Very considerate.
It was a Nintendo Switch watch.
What the fuck is this?
You hardly touched your avocado toast.
The Wallace and Gromlith.
That's exactly how we got on the we got on the Snickle.
Babe, what's wrong? You hardly touched your Snickle.
Because I don't remember what the first one was, but I remember this one being thrown out there, the limited edition Sonic Curry.
Oh, yeah. Wait, did you see my red onion post?
Yeah. Do you know what this reminds me of?
I have no fucking clue why he made that.
It's like the damn crab rangoon thing.
The crab raccoon.
Yeah, crab raccoon.
You know what?
I feel like after Gila like spammed or Gila, excuse me.
Yeah, pronounce it right, moron.
After he spammed the fuck out of the chat with that meme, I started seeing crab rangoon memes. It was like the whatever. What was it called? The thing that decides what you see on Instagram. Fuck. No one's helping me.
The algorithm?
Yeah, the algorithm. There we go. After Gila spammed the fucking crab rangoon meme, I legitimately saw an uptick in crab rangoon memes on my feed, and I really hate that. I could be in my recommended or something.
It would.
It would, in fact. I've been sending them to you.
Have not.
Griller?
What?
Shut the fuck up.
How about you don't talk to me that way?
I'm sorry.
You should be.
It's like, that was a mistake.
So were you.
Okay. All right. So, Slick Side, what was going through your head when you saw the beautiful curves of a bodyguard and couldn't, like, are you here?
I'm here.
He's crying right now.
I personally will promise not to make fun of you for at least 10 minutes after you tell the story.
Are you shitting?
All right, so the bodyguard purchase probably wasn't my best move in the last 3 weeks. I will openly admit that I probably
You did something worse 3 weeks ago?
Slickside, are you shitting right now?
What?
Are you taking a shit right now?
No, I'm sitting down.
It sounds like you're in a bathroom.
No, I just moved. I'm closer to the wall.
Oh, yeah, we can hear.
I'm literally sitting in the conference room. Anyway.
Oh, you're in the cloneincorrect LLC offices. Okay, cool.
Yep. So I must apologize to our producer, Ethan, for not heeding his advice and buying something other than a Smith & Wesson bodyguard. So my apologies, Ethan. But what was the question? Sorry.
Well, I was asking, like, what was going through your head? Like, you bought it at a gun show, you said?
Yeah, so you missed
What lies were whispered into your ear to convince you that that's what you wanted? Because I don't think you went in there wanting that, did you?
So actually, you missed the whole gun show saga. But my father has one of these Smith & Wesson bodyguards, and I like it. It's small, it's easy to shoot, it's easy to conceal, and it seems pretty reliable so far. So I just went ahead and bought one of those too. That way I'd have something.
Okay.
Well, I do my research on buying something different. And even if it was a $400 mistake and I have to wait 6 months to buy something better, like one of these Glock 43s, at least I have something in the interim that I am familiar with. And so that's why I bought it.
I'm going to come to your house and murder you.
You won't be able to because he's got a self-defense gun now.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Don't you?
Once I let you go, I'm in his walls.
I'm in her walls.
That's a little, dude, keep it PG. This is a PG podcast.
Sugar wall. You guys want to go see the sugar tunnel?
What? I don't like the sound of that.
No,
Yes.
Sugar Tunnel is just my nickname for 556. Rest in peace.
No.
Oh god.
R.I.P. to
Dude,
him.
I miss him, man.
Gone.
It really
but not-
sucks what happened. Like, that's just such a shitty situation.
Not to dox him or his family, but if you look up first monkeypox fatality in the U.S., it's actually, that's him. Yeah. Like, no joke.
That's just such a shitty, like, man, that fucking sucks.
What a way.
That does suck.
He said he got it from a toilet seat, but I don't really believe him.
I don't believe it.
You know what? Let's not speak ill of him now. Like, he can't defend himself
What's he gonna
anymore.
do?
So.
Stab me?
What's he gonna do? Haunt you from the grave?
Quote from man who was haunted from a grave.
Yeah, actually. I was for a time. And then I shot the ghost.
Is there any other questions regarding my purchase of the bodyguard that you guys would like to ask?
Yeah.
I promised I wouldn't. I
Dickhead.
promised I wouldn't make fun of you for 10 minutes. So at the moment, no.
Streamlight, shut up. I've got one.
Go ahead.
First of all, how dare you? Secondly, how could you? Third, why?
Fourth, have you ever gotten your dick sucked on the podcast?
This is my first podcast.
Is that a yes or?
I can call a rib if I need to.
I think the janitor. You said the janitor was there, right? And he said you said he wanted to spit shine something in the conference room.
Whoa, man! Just because she's Hispanic doesn't mean she's a janitor, dude. Jesus Christ!
Oh my gosh.
No.
With racism.
No,
Street
there's
Light.
the janitor we have at Cloneincorrect at the office
Jose?
building.
You mean Kyle?
I thought his name was Jose.
That's what I thought.
Whoa, buddy!
I've been calling him Jose. He doesn't dye his hair blonde.
His name's
Okay.
Kyle. He's 5 foot tall, and he's the whitest dude you've ever met. He drinks nothing but Monster and punches holes in the drywall.
No,
I saw him with a
actually,
Modelo
no,
once.
he's not actually
It was
white.
Jose.
He bleaches his skin, is why he spends so much on bleach per month.
Gosh.
This is like Kyle.
You know what, though?
Said, oh, we ran out of bleach again. Dang.
I'm not really mad that we run out of bleach because we don't pay him. So
Yeah,
like,
you
if
guys
he finds happiness, in the job. I mean, it sounds like he's happy every time I talk to him. Like when I come and pick up my paychecks on like every Friday, he seems
You guys
He's
are
having
getting
a good time.
paid for this? The fuck?
Every once in a while, we let him steal out of Ethan's desk as a treat.
there's usually only like little caramels and hard candies in there, but again,
Well, and like suppressor baffles and
wait, what? I would have been
he
stealing
has
out of his
weird
desk this whole
jar
time.
of, like translucent white liquid too. I don't know what that is.
What about that weird
Back to that
dog
damn
he
dog.
keep, like that dog picture he keeps in his desk?
Oh yeah.
I always kind of wondered what that was. I'm a little
Well,
scared
it's
to
kind of
touch it.
weird that he keeps the picture under a bunch of other stuff.
Like he's hiding it almost.
And
Like, is that
yeah,
his
and
dog?
it's like he one time I saw it on his desk. And he like went to like cover it real quick. I was like, oh, that's weird.
It's like a stock image, though. It can't be his, right?
Oh yeah, no, it has watermarks over it. So I'm like, what? Why are you hiding that? That's weird.
Pretty crazy. So,
All right.
have you-
that note- one more question, and I have to go finish up this
Well,
experiment
okay.
and go home.
have you ever tried talking your father into carrying something else?
So he has a Smith & Wesson 9mm, but I forget exactly which model it is.
It's one of those older full steel frames, whatever.
Yeah, but so
I had one of those. Those are fucking heavy.
So a few things. He's a tall white guy, done manual labor since he was like 10 years old. And a lot of people are actually afraid of him because when he was younger, he was a little aggressive. So he typically doesn't carry.
Boo. It sounds
Kilt
like
in the streets, but okay.
Yeah, I tell him that, but he still thinks he's 21 and can just pick somebody up and slam them on the ground like it's 1985 again. So, you know.
I had the issue of my dad carrying an XD.
Oh no.
Yeah, I did fix it though. No worries. That problem is long gone.
My father did though finally admit that maybe his PSAs weren't the best choice, and he has now moved up to Delton is what he's going to have now for an AR-15.
That's just a sideways move.
That's an interesting move. Have you ever shown him like Arrow Precision? That's the same price and much better.
I'm working on it. I think what I want to do is, if Criterion ever gets those core barrels back in stock, I'm going to take my Faxon and the Colt bulk carrier group and put them in the Delton upper receiver and put them on a different lower and give that combination to him. And then put the core in the slick
Just
side.
give him a little taste of something better.
Yeah.
Fun story though. My first upper actually was a Delton in like 2011.
How'd you like it?
I mean, it was fine. It was one of the super heavy barrel, straight, like no taper ones.
That's what I have.
Yeah. I mean, it was good. I wasn't super serious into shooting back then, so I don't know. I don't remember how well it shot. But it never fucked up or anything, so. It was decent. It was super fucking cheap, too.
Yep. All right, I'm going to go finish up my experiment so that I can cure some weird disease no one's ever heard of.
You can cure monkeypox in 556's memory.
I can probably do that, but I don't associate with the gay stuff, so I don't know. Maybe.
He don't want to fix it.
He chooses
All right.
not.
Well, see you later.
Have a good one. Thanks for being here.
Good night, young man.
It was nice to meet you, man.
And see ya. 30-minute goodbye.
Robbie, shut the fuck up.
Oh, you watch your mouth.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is that it? I'm guessing.
I think we're gonna edit on that
hour and 40 minutes.
No.
I'll give last remarks.
The tactical, whatever that guy's name is for listening.
Sepia.
Is it?
Sepia.
You French trying to say sapper?
I don't know.
I know. He's
probably pretty cool. He's probably a pretty cool guy, honestly.
He probably is. He just doesn't like our show.
You know, honestly, if I cared about like when I was listening to Cloneincorrect podcast before I was on it, if I took it seriously and didn't like see it as
humor,
humor, that episode would piss me off. So
what I don't get
is a cool guy.
I mean, he's not just going to randomly listen to episode 26.
No, it means he's made it through.
He's
so
had
much
to
of other WAPs happenings, and then
maybe the Morbisode.
Oh my god, yeah. So he probably listened to the more episode, and then he got to legumes, and he couldn't take it anymore. That's the breaking point.
Chex Mix was his breaking point.
If anybody in y'all's lives is like on the edge, like having some trouble, do not bring up legumes. It will push them over the edge. Like legumes are a hot topic.
On that terrible disappointment, I think we're gonna end the episode here. So thanks everybody for listening, especially that one guy that's probably not listening.
If he is, I mean, thanks, man. We apologize.
DM me for spicy pictures.
It will happen again, though, but we apologize.